G'day, Shaun Whale here. Today I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks to change the oil inside your gearbox. It's something that every four-wheel driver really needs to know. Now before we get started, we need to know exactly what type of gearbox we've got and more importantly what weight of oil we need for our gearbox, because unlike an engine that can take multiple types of oil, a gearbox is very particular to one grade of oil. If you get it wrong, you can be up for very expensive repair bills. Now to find out, of course, you can use your owner's manual, or even easier, jump onto Nulon's website and have a look at their lube guide. You'll find exactly what oil to use and how much of it as well. The tools needed are quite basic. I've got a full socket set, I've got a breaker bar, an oil catch can, I've got an oil pump with a small diameter hose, and also a couple of rags to clean up. Now of course it goes without saying that you want to keep your vehicle nice and level when you perform any sort of oil change, especially a gearbox one. Now my vehicle's nice and lifted, so there's plenty of room to get underneath and access the gearbox. If you've got a standard passenger vehicle or a stock standard four-wheel drive, you'll need to jack the vehicle up, put it on axle stands so you can get access, but of course make sure it's nice and level. Now in some vehicles you'll find that you'll actually have a bash plate that'll cover the gearbox and make access hard. Now of course undo that bash plate so you can get full access to it. My transfer case has a bash plate, but my gearbox is nice and open and easy to work on. And now it's just time to crack the nuts. And what I like to do here is crack the refill nut first to make sure I can open it so I can put oil back in the box, and then of course the drain plug, and then I'll drain the oil. Undo the drain plug and drop the oil, which will take about 10 to 20 minutes. Take note of how much oil comes out. It should be close to capacity. If you're missing any more than 10% of the full capacity, you have a leak in your gearbox, which you'll need to address. Now that we've dropped the oil, it's a good idea to actually check the oil, inspect it and see what it looks like and see what it smells like. If it's really black and stinky oil, then chances are you've left it too long in between oil changes, or worse still, that it's got hot and burnt and you're losing protection and performance. Now it's time to replace the drain plug, and then we can start filling the gearbox back full of fresh oil. Now on most gearboxes you'll find where the filler hole is at the correct level, but just double check your gearbox to make sure. One of the best tips I can give you is chuck a tube of this stuff in your gearbox after you put new oil in. It's called Nulon Smooth Shift. It coats all the components with anti-wear protection. And trust me, you'll definitely feel smoother gear changes next time you jump in your four-wheel drive. All that's left now is to reinstall your filler plug and wipe away as much oil as you can. And believe me, it starts to stink. Double check for any leaks and replace any bash guards or splash trays. There you go, gearbox oil change done. The last thing left to do is take it for a quick lap around the block and listen to make sure everything is done right. And trust me, those gear changes are going to be super smooth. Well, there you go, that's just how easy it is to change the oil in your gearbox. If you've bought a second-hand four-wheel drive or you haven't changed the gearbox oil in about 18 months, then why don't you get into it, give it a crack, and trust me, your four-wheel drive will thank you for it.